Moscow's macho man, some American muscle, and an unlikely political marriage some refuse to bless.
The president is putting himself over our country.
Knowing nods, friendly handshakes, and the mother of all fallouts.
I did not think this was a good moment for our country.
The White House continues to fire back.
He sees more and more every single day that this is proving further and further to be a total witch hunt.
But the investigation into Russian meddling has only intensified.
The indictment charges 12 Russian military officers for conspiring to interfere with the 2016 presidential election.
And the man holding the microscope has already filed 191 criminal charges. The political fight over the Russia investigation has reached fever pitch. There have been indictments, court appearances, and a constant eye on the president's every move with Moscow. But here are two things we don't know. Will Washington even accept Robert Mueller's findings? And just how much will the rest of America care? Donald Trump's trip to Helsinki to meet Vladimir Putin muddied the political waters for his own party. And on Capitol Hill, unsettled senators grilled his chief diplomat.
Foreign Relations Committee will come to order. It's the president that causes people to have concerns. And I'd love to have some insights into you as to, for instance, at the Helsinki conference, to create an equivalence between our intelligence agency and what Putin is saying that shocks people. Is there a strategy to this, or is it, what is it that causes the president to purposely create distrust in these institutions and what we're doing?
Senator, I disagree with most of what you just said there. You somehow disconnect the administration's activities from the president's actions. They're the one and the same. Make no mistake, who's fully in charge of this.
The Mike Pompeo trying to say, look at our policies, and the senators saying, look at what the president's saying on Twitter, that's not your policy. And it really raised this question of whether we have two Trump administration foreign policies, those of his Secretary of State and other officials, and those of the president himself.
Watching their president appear to take Putin's side was too much for some, and it prompted a rare correction.
I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be.
The sentence should have been, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be Russia. Sort of a double negative.
He does not seem to be separating the question of Russia interfering in the election from the question of his own legitimacy as a leader. And I think among his supporters, they feel the same way. It's hard to say, let's get tough on Russia for this meddling, because that means that we need to be tough on the fact that they may have interfered in a way that helped Donald Trump.
They're dying to see us make a little bit of a mistake. They analyze every word. They say, did he say that? Could it have been? Did he say something positive about Russia? I think he loves Russia. Be nice to get along with Russia, but that's okay.
Moscow may be accused of targeting America's democracy, but at Bury the Hatchet in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, some voters like the prospect of the president carving out a new relationship.
I would much rather have them close than enemies that they're portraying that they are. So I would much rather have them close together.
Do you like the idea of the president being close to Vladimir Putin, even if he may have meddled in your election?
I mean, it doesn't bother me.
So you wouldn't mind either way? It won't change your vote?
Nope, not at all.
Does it worry you if the president's pursuing a relationship with a man who might meddle in your election again?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a complete conflict of interest. So I would say, philosophically, that's a problem to go down that path.
It just doesn't feel right. We're turning our backs on our allies, we're turning our backs on our country, and we're not turning our backs on the Russia relationship.
They found nothing. I mean, except for maybe Russia put fake news up on Facebook, which isn't a surprise. But as far as I'm concerned, they didn't find anything with Russia.
However you see it, there is no smoking gun yet, no concrete sign of collusion after more than a year of throwing everything at it.
The Mueller investigation has really done so far is kind of scoped out the dimensions of Russia's meddling, but they have not so far done a lot on what American citizens did and whether any of those American citizens were involved with the Trump campaign.
Carter Page, a former foreign policy advisor to the Trump campaign, has been on the FBI's radar. Newly released documents show they believed he was collaborating and conspiring with the Russian government in 2016. He claims their surveillance was unfairly based on partisan opposition research. In these documents, they accuse you of being an agent of a foreign power. Were you?
Absolutely not. It's just so ridiculous that, where do you begin to start in terms of setting the record straight? I've never been asked to do anything illegal, immoral, unethical throughout the 25 years I've been looking at Russia and spending time over there. So it's absolutely preposterous.
But did you ever advise the Kremlin?
I participated in a few meetings back in 2013 when the G20 was held in St. Petersburg. Myself and dozens of business leaders and academics from around the world were doing that. So we had some meetings in Paris, Geneva, New York, etc.
You clearly feel positive about Donald Trump's approach to Russia. Do you think he could have done anything differently?
I think he has been just under such tremendous constraints, pressures, and abuses. So in a lot of ways, he reminds me of Nelson Mandela, when a lot of people were using the intelligence apparatus to go after him in illicit ways. And I think there's significant things that he's persevered through.
You are the best, you understand? Be strong, be strong.
Michael Cohen, Trump's former fixer, isn't sounding quite as convinced, and the president's current lawyer is on the attack.
The man is a liar, a proven liar. There's no way you're going to bring down the president of the United States on the testimony, uncorroborated, of a proven liar.
He's reportedly prepared to tell the FBI that then-candidate Trump knew about the infamous meeting at Trump Tower, where Russians were expected to dish dirt on Hillary Clinton. Paul Manafort, Trump's former campaign chairman, was there. This week, he's the first to take the stand, accused of fraud, which he denies.
I think what we've learned from the Manafort charges and many of the other ways that Mueller has been conducting the investigation is that he has a wide remit in terms of what he can investigate, and he is using that. He's going where the evidence takes him, and he is not afraid to do that.
The Russia probe casts a long shadow over key states like Pennsylvania. Public faith in the man steering the dizzying details has dipped, and there's skepticism in the air.
I don't think it's a witch hunt. I think the press in the United States is paying more attention to President Trump, and they're after him all the time. They won't let him alone. You know, if he did something wrong, that's one thing, but he ain't done anything wrong yet.
Do you trust the Russia investigation?
I'll let you know when it's over. I think I do.
He's basically saying he trusts Putin more than he does his own FBI. Close to treason as far as I'm concerned.
What do you think of the Trump and Putin relationship?
I can't believe that an American president would be so enamored of a Russian leader. He seems to be leading us down a path that we don't know where it's going.
Does it bother you that Russia meddled in the 2016
Not at all.
election? Why not?
Don't care. He won. Doesn't matter how he won. He got it. He's in there, right guy for the job. Gonna make it done.
The distant glow of the midterms is looming, and one glaring central question remains unanswered. Did Trump or his associates work with Russia? The White House is currently eyeing up a counter-report, and the president has already written something more profound into the American psyche.
Just remember, what you're seeing and what you're reading is not what's happening.
Alongside the Statue of Freedom that stands over Congress is a new pillar of politics: doubt.